Hey, yo, with the Def fam, it's your boy here, and welcome back to another Aether Raids video. Now, we have quite a bit to talk about here. So, you may have remembered from previous videos that I had a pretty crazy orb count. I was over 800, and then I ended up summoning. I said I wasn't going to summon on that cheerleader banner, but I ended up summoning anyway because apparently the units are really, really broken. So, I got killed as well, by the way, trying to get one copy of Ike. It took me like over 500 orbs. Because I had to have had like 830 plus after the paralogs and the chain challenges and like all that stuff. And then we just got a Tempest trial as well. So, I had a lot of orbs is what I'm trying to say. And Ike killed me. 500 to get one copy is no bueno. But the good news is I was able to get 2 copies of Byleth. Byleth was actually the unit that I wanted the most, but I did also want Ike as well because this is why. So we go ahead and take a look at the defense that I'm running here. It's pretty good. And a lot of changes were made mid-season because for a first draft, you know, like it's never going to be perfect on the first try. You got to iron out all of the flaws and the kinks, get it right. So Byleth is pretty much the best 3-range style unit that I have access to. Before I summoned her, it was the Baby Claude. And Baby Claude is fine. There's nothing really wrong with him, but he does require a lot of support. Like, he really wants reflex support, and he really wants a lot of speed support. And to be able to give him all of what he needs, it does take a little bit of investment on your team itself. Like, you got to run specific units, like maybe Burger King, which is what I was doing before. And Byleth, on the other hand, really doesn't need any of that. Like, you just slap her on the defense, and she is good to go right out of the box. Now, I did do one thing. I gave her Instruct, and I ended up giving Ike Instruct as well, because what these two are here on this team for, and the reason why I think they're really broken, is because they're giving great talent support up the ass. And then you combine that with them having Instruct, it's like on turn 2, the team is fully buffed. Like, everyone's at plus 10 great talent. So, normally when you're fighting on Aether Raid's offense, what you want to do is wait for the reinforcement slot to come in. So, you're waiting until turn 3, but while you're idly waiting, my units are just getting stronger and stronger. So, once we're all at like plus 10 to everything, you're going to be so out of luck. Like, trying to kill them. We have Ector Deer, again, another one of these units that I decked out. I was able to give him Rise Above and Patience. So, yeah, man, pretty nasty, pretty dirty. He's giving Magic Save on this team to Ike, and Rise Above is like a godsend for Ector Deer. Not only is it really good on him to run, and then it gives him access to Patience for the extra hit, but it also makes it a lot easier to target who you want to give the Magic Save support to. It was really tough before, like Heimdallr, having her on the defense. A lot of the times, she just sucks up the Magic Save because her res is so good. But now that we have Rise Above, we can give it to all these infantry units. There's a lot of crazy combinations you can do to get the Magic Save from Ector Deer on. Like, another good one is Halloween Freya, who prior to this was really not easy to get Magic Save on because of her low base stats. But if you give her Rise Above, it's not unthinkable that she could end up having more res than Heimdallr. So there's a lot of really good combinations and interactions with Rise Above and Ector Deer for both himself running it and then also as the possible Magic Save you want to give it to. Then, of course, we've got Heimdallr. She's just annoying as hell. Mainly, it's for the stall, though. It's not even for the Foresight Snare, which does help. I'm not going to say Foresight Snare is not helpful. But in my experience with this unit, stall is actually the thing that makes her really good. Because a lot of skills now are coming, like Strat Assault and Sigurd Ring and like all those things that you're going to have on your team are just getting hindered by Heimdallr with the stall. So that's really good. We have the Lucina Ring on her to give a little extra DR support. We have Lucina herself, of course, with Canto Curb, my favorite unit to give Canto Curb to right now. Just a really good supporter, and she can be a really good player phaser as well with the Action Economy Assist, and then the ability to swing from far away with the Lin Ring. And with Hardy Bearing, she just tears through most of the tanks, especially the ones that are reliant on Patience. Because Lucina also gets a lot of DR when she's initiating. It's not just like what she's giving to allies as DR. She herself gets a lot of DR too. So on the player phase, she can be really tough. We have Duo Marth here. He's the best friend of Ectordeer, obviously. He gives him so much support, and he has Vantage, and Byleth has Vantage. So having both of my frontline units just being like Vantage tanks makes it really tricky for player phasing with glass cannon units like Baby Camilla. It's not going to be the simplest thing in the world for her to just swing over a Byleth or a Duo Marth. And also, he gives us another unit for the Duo's Hindrance, which is good. You want to have at least more than one, because Duo's Hindrance right now is as important as ever, I feel, with the amount of Duo heroes that have a lot of action economy. Like, for example, the Baby Edelgard. She's like the most annoying one. The Ilian Hilda, really good unit, and she gives the share spoils. So you want to have that Duo's Hindrance for sure. And then finally, we have our Fence Breaker. We've got Balder. Interchangeable with Holder or even the Arcane Holder from the Summer Banner. It doesn't matter who it is as long as they just break the fence. But in this case, we went with Balder because I don't even have another defense mythic on this team. So she gives us access to the bonus slot, which is actually in use for once. So we have this guy coming in. We have Medius. Unfortunately, it's not the Mythic Medius, who I think is probably better after his remix. But the only copy of that guy I ever got, I ended up foddering him for Kanto Control, and I never got a second copy of him. So, yeah, we're just going to make do with the Legacy Medius, a unit that I've had at plus 10 for a while, but I never got to use him in Arena because by the time I plus 10'd him, it was already too late for him. We just ended up getting really high-scoring Arena armors from the GHBs. So, yeah, it is nice that I can finally actually put him to use for something. So he comes in. He's going to give On Guard to Ike, Ectordeer, and Byleth, and then they're going to be immune to the Bolt Tower, which is really the only thing that I need them to be. The other guys can get hit with the Bolt Tower. They're all like glass cannon supporty units. But the tanks, I want them to be immune to the Bolt Tower, and that's what they are. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these defense replays. Let's see how people did. And it did pretty good. We did have 2 losses, but I did make some altercations to the defense that I think in the future would prevent these 2 from being losses. So let's go ahead and take a look. We'll start with the first one. Oh, this was actually against the old defense. Yeah. So like I was saying about Baby Claude before, he requires so much support. So here we've got Ilian Hilda, who can rally on him, give him a ton of support, and then he's getting Reflex from Burger King. But as fun as this defense was, and it did last, it was good while it lasted, I do feel like what we're running now is just completely better. The Great Talent buffing is insane, but I did like that this team pressured on turn 1 with the Elise style and the Claude style. We could just go in on turn 1. Okay, but that's not what we're here to see. So here we have Grimner, or Grimner, not sure how to say that. So this was the first draft that I ran. The unit that I had in the special slot this time was, it was actually the Satyr unit who can come in and end somebody's turn. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people doing that. Like, that seems to be the most common thing that people do with the special slot is have a Satyr come in and end somebody's turn. But I've never personally found that to be good. It's just like a minor inconvenience at best. And I wanted to give it a try, at least see if it works out. But, nah, it really didn't do anything. If anything, it was more harmful than helpful. So, yeah, I ended up ditching Satyr on the special slot here. So, Homeboy's got Milla. We've got a Emblem Edelgard. We got the Summer Holder. We got Baby... Oh, this guy, he's got 2 Baby Camillas. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Baby Camilla still feels like the best Aether Raids offense unit. So, I can't argue with that. And then we have the Mythic Air there. All right, so he's breaking my structures. Look at this vandalism, man. That's how much you hate the Asker trio. You're going to break their structures. All right, so this guy, it looks like he is going to wait for the Bolt Tower to go off. Yeah, you got to hate those Bolt Tower waiterers, right? Waiting on the Bolt Tower. What a scrub. Waiting for the Bolt Tower to come save you. Yeah, so here we have Satyr come in. She had enough res to beat Holder there, which is surprising. Holder is a pretty good res unit. All right, Camilla goes in, gets a KO. He's not running Gale Force on his Camillas, is he? Okay, he is. He has Gale Force on both of them. One of them has Gale Force Mist. This one is probably from, whatchamacallit, from the Forma, right? Yeah, just like I thought. Heavenly Soar over her Beast skill, though, I don't know if I would agree. I mean, yeah, in Hall of Forms, that's what you wanted to take. But I don't think it's actually better than setting up the terrain with her own Beast skill, Tut Tut. Because the terrain is really the reason why this unit is so good. It just gives the big middle finger to the Corrin ring. So I personally would just keep her Beast skill. All right, then we have the... Okay, he just attacked. He got hit by Kanto Control. All right, then he goes in on Satyr. He wasn't able to Gale Force with either of his Camillas there, which is unfortunate for him. Isn't that crazy, too? Just there, like, Corrin took 0 damage from Edelgard. That Corrin, if she didn't get hit by the Bolt Tower, I wonder if Edelgard would have even been able to beat her there. All right, then our units are coming in, so Ike is going to get a KO. Then he's going to give a crazy amount of great talent, if he didn't already, to the team. All right, Lucina gets a KO. Then Martha's going to get a KO here. So, yeah, that was pretty much how this one ended. He's going to surrender right here. All right, yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to Yoshi Milk. So this one was a rematch. I did try to put myself out there. We did get a lot of whale replays here. A lot of whales fought us with, like, everything at plus 10. Because I did try to put myself out there. I did a lot of fights earlier than normal. Normally what you do is on the first day you wait. On the second day you wait. And then you do one fight a day from then onwards. And that's how you coast in Aether Raids. So you don't get, like, crazy whales fighting your defense. But for the showcase and for the video, I did want to get as many whales or good players as possible fighting the defense. And also just for myself to see what I needed to fix up. So we are going to see some whales, not right now, but in a moment. All right, so this guy's got Fallen Ivy. We have the Emblem Lyn. We have also Mythic Lyn. All right, then we have Mythic Peony. We got Mythic Dagger, and then Fallen Dimitri. So the Lyn and Undefended combo, does it still work? Not really. Honestly, I mean, it worked. It was really good while it lasted. But I think its time is up at this point. Lyn could easily snipe Baldur, too, by the way. Baldur is not protected by either of the saves here. So Lyn could take out Baldur. The problem is, what is she supposed to do after that? There's really nothing else Lyn is going to be able to do. So even if you get rid of Baldur, who cares? And then that also costs you the safety fence. So as soon as you do that, my units are going to start coming in. Okay, so Satyr comes in. Did not have the res to end Ivy's action. Which is another problem, too. Like, you got to have a lot of res on her. That's why I kind of wanted the Winter Satyr. Because obviously the Winter Satyr is much better. But I don't have Winter Satyr. So not like it's going to matter. We have another Baby Camilla here. Baby Camilla is just so good, man. All right, and then he gives up. I guess he didn't have, like, anything else he could do. And then my units were going to start coming in. All right, so that was Yoshi Milk. All right, this guy is Swanchika. That's how you say that, Swanchika. All right, let's see what he's got. Okay, so we have a plus 10 dagger. We got a plus 10 Nerthus, and then we have also a plus 10 rune. So the first of the whales is here. All right, then we got a plus 10 Baby Camilla. All right, don't tell me. A plus 10 Emblem Roy, and then is she at plus 10 as well? Yeah, she is. Plus 10 Plumeria. Wow. And he's got plus 10 Emblem Rings. Look at that. He's got a plus 10 Sigurd Ring. He's got a plus 10 Edelgard Ring. Plus 10 Byleth Ring. Yeah, this is as whaled as it gets, man. All right, but does being a whale mean you automatically win? Well, he did get some good value out of that catapult there. Let's see if he can make good on it. I don't know, though, man. Honestly, like, I feel like just because you're a whale doesn't mean you're going to be good. look at what he tried to do. He tried to bait us with Roy. Completely didn't even realize or just didn't care that Byleth had 3 range style. So here's Ike against Roy. Would have beat him if not for the miracle, but Doesn't matter. It's not like Roy did anything to Ike either. All right, then. The rest of our guys are just going to blow up into Ike. Or not Ike, into Roy there. Oh, actually, Lucina was able to beat him there. Yeah, I love that Lucina as a player phaser. All right, so we were able to get the easy dub there. Yeah, so it just goes to show, kids, whaling does not pay. Don't be a whale. All right, next up we have Kieran here, another rematch. So we've got a +10 Emblem Lyn. We got a +10 Peony. Got a +2. Oh, not even +10, but he does have the +10 Celica ring there on the Emblem Edelgard. Got a +10 Rune with a +10 Lyn ring. Yeah, +10 Dagger with a +4 Corrin ring. Okay, this guy's not as whaled up as the other guy. And then a +6 Chosen Alphonse with a +2 Byleth ring. Yeah, not the craziest of whales, but let's see what he does. I would still consider him a whale. With that many +10 rings, you gotta be a whale. He didn't even swing on... I don't even know what he was trying to do here. He had Lyn lined up to attack Balder, and he didn't even do it. You're not trying to tell me that Balder was going to tank Lyn, are you? Because that would just be tragic if Lyn couldn't even kill Balder there. All right, yeah, he just gives up. There's not really much he can do after this. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so the first of our 2 losses for this season, this one is from Runa. So let's take a look. And if memory serves, this was actually a really beautiful one. So no safety fence, which honestly, like, the safety fence is starting to feel optional, considering that a lot of teams are just really pressuring you anyway. So it doesn't matter if you have it or not. It can still help, of course, but it's optional, I would say. So we have a +2 Peony. We have a unmerged Mythic Tiki. We got a +1 Baby Camillo with Gale Force. All right, we have Baby Tana, the dreaded, yeah, like the most broken. I don't know if I'd say she's the most broken 8th Raids offense unit, but she's like up there. She's like top 5. All right, then we have the Mythic Lyn. And then we have Summer Sharena. Okay, so this guy... He doesn't have a lot of merges on his mythics, but the trade-off is that he's running basically exactly what he wants. He's got essentially the 3 best offense mythics, at least until Groa came out. And then he's got a Baby Tana Gale Force setup. Oh, that was a beautiful move. Look at that. Yeah, so warps in Sharena, and then draws back on Sharena to waste the trap. And then he's got the Micaiah ring on Tana. Yeah, not bad. Good move there. All right, and then he goes in. He has the style on Tana, the range style from Mythic Lyn. Now, this is what I was able to change that probably fixes this. So, Ector Deer, I was running base kit on this setup before I saw this replay. And then once I saw that, I was like, yeah, we could totally give this guy some better stuff at this point. Like, Assault Fighter... Even when this guy came out, we knew that was going to get replaced. And then Attack and Defense Fortune, it's cool to let him transform, but he really doesn't get anything out of transformation. It's not like he gets 3 range style like Myclin or something. He really just gets distant counter and 2 attack. So that's something we can live without. And in this particular case, if he's got patience, I'm pretty sure he beats Tana because he's going to get the extra hit, and the extra hit is going to finish off Tana there. So, yeah, the changes that we have currently will probably be able to work against this. I mean, I say work against this. Look at what we're fighting. You could probably just still have patience on him, and this guy would find a way to win anyway. I don't really think there's much you can do against Baby Tana setups. But it just is what it is, right? All right, then Sharena is able to beat Byleth. That's interesting. All right, then we have Mythic Lyn going in against Balder there. Edelgard takes out Lucina. Yeah, the one bad thing about Lucina is that her DR support is only once per turn. And you could easily get that to whiff, too. If you hit with a style like the Legendary Elise style or Sombron style or like the Harmonic Duo, not Harmonic Duo, the Harmonic Brave Alm style that hits from 5 spaces away. Like, there's a lot of ways to whiff the DR support on Lucina because it's only 1 per turn. So, yeah, there are options, I guess, that you could use to replace Lucina with. Out of all the units on this team, I'm thinking Lucina and Marth are the 2 that are the most changeable. I just don't know what to use instead of them. Like, I was thinking run a second copy of Byleth, actually. So we get another unit with the 3-range style, and she's another duo hero, and she's also another Vantage unit, right? So, like, having another copy of Byleth over there would be great. Unfortunately, I didn't think about that in time, because the first Byleth that I summoned on the banner was minus attack plus defense. And then the second one that I pulled was plus speed minus attack. So my first thought was just to merge into the one that had plus speed so I could get rid of the Bane and then she'd be really nice. But I'm kind of regretting that decision. I wish I would have just kept the second copy so I could run her over there instead of Marth. But yeah, hindsight is 2020. All right, and then for Lucina, I was thinking maybe you could try Valley, but I don't know. Personally, in my experience, Valley doesn't really help that much. So I feel like Lucina would be better. Anyway, as far as this guy goes, he's got a bonus Sharena with like no skills on her. We have a Emblem Micaiah. We've got a +6 Baby Camilla. We got a Mythic Lyn there, unmerged. We have the Entwined Sharena, and then we have Nerthuz there, Mythic Nerthuz. All right, so this guy, I believe if memory serves, this guy just waits for the Bolt Tower. And that's how he's able to beat us. So, yeah, again, this is not going to be possible with the new setup that I did. We're going to have Medius come in and block Bolt Towers from now on. So, yeah, I wonder what this guy would do without having the Bolt Tower to come save him. All right, just shuffling around his units. Doesn't matter. All right, so Satyr's going to come in. Obviously, Micaiah has better res than Satyr, so that's not going to end her turn there. And then he gets the Bolt Tower to go off. Okay, shuffling around. Whips the Heimdallr Foresight Snare with a Lyn-style Micaiah attack. All right, gets rid of our Ectordeer there. Now, Nerthuz has a lot of reflex on her remix, so I can't say if she'd be able to kill Ectordeer there or not, like, even with the new build that I've got on him. I still had the base build on this setup here. But, I mean, certainly without the Bolt Tower, it gives him a lot better chance. All right, lots and lots of shenanigans going on here. Lots of bonus actions, proccing. Now, we still have Duo's Hindrance, which is helpful. Because he does have the Spring Plumeria there. All right, but he takes out Marth, and then he's going to go ahead and take out Byleth as well. It's insane that Camilla does 0 damage on the first hit, though, against her. That's ludicrous to me. Because she's got color advantage, and she's freaking baby Camilla. And she still does 0 damage. That Byleth is on another level, man. Both Byleth and Ike, they're so crazy. All right, and then he goes ahead and gets the KO there with Nerthuz. So, yeah, let's see how this guy fares without the Bolt Tower to save him. All right, so we got 2 more to go. Let's take a look here. We have, who is this? Amezuku Fairy. Okay. Amezuku Fairy. All right, let's see what this guy's got up his sleeve. So, another whale. We got a +10... Which peony was this? Bride peony? That's a really good dancer, by the way. All right, then we have a Harmonic Micaiah. We've got the Summer Balder. We got Mythic Tiki at +10 with Rise Above and Instruct. And a +10 Byleth Ring. Oh, my God. Dude, imagine losing with units like this. All right, then we got a +10 Mythic Lyn with a +10 Corrin Ring. And we got a +10... remixed Nerthuz here, I'm assuming. Yep. God damn. Can you imagine having Mythic heroes of this caliber at +10? Like a Mythic Tiki, Mythic Lyn, and Nerthuz remixed at +10? Bro, look at what I have to run on offense, man, and just, like, cry in a corner. It's so bad, dude. These are the effects of being a whale in Fae back in the day as opposed to right now where everything is so busted. So, Milla plus 10 does nothing. We got Air at plus 10, does nothing. And then a plus 8 Peony. She still dances at least, but not even at plus 10 with her. And that's my highest other merged mythic. So, yeah, oh my god, dude. I wish. If only. Alright, so let's get back here. Oh, what is he doing? He's gonna bait us with Summer Balder? You crazy? Dude, what is going on? Like, it's as if being a whale means you have 0 brains or something. All your brains is caviar. This is what happens when you're a whale. Oh my god. Okay, so she did at least tank that. But we took out a unit already, so... Hey, I mean, she hung in there. I gotta give her credit, but he just forgot that Corrin was gonna warp to Marth and then hit with the 3-range style over there. So, yeah, this is also why I prefer player phase strats over bait strats every day. Like, you will never catch me running bait strats if I have the option to. Which is funny, because this season I actually did try it. I was trying bait strats with the not Summer Ike, the cheerleader Ike. Or, not I shouldn't disrespect him like that. Not the cheerleader Ike, the flag bearer Ike, I guess is what we would call him. Yeah, I was trying bait strats with him because there's really not a lot of units that can just straight up beat him. I have seen, like, most of the time it's just like crazy hardcore mage nukes and legendary Elise, but she has to hit him with the style first. Like, those are really the only things that I've seen just be able to beat him. So I tried him out as a bait option, and I didn't like it. Like, I'm going back to player phase strats after that. Alright, so over here, our final replay of the day. We have a Harmonic Alm at +1 with a +10 Erica ring. We've got a +10 Lumera. Oh, Lumera is a really unsung hero for Aether Raid's offense, because the style that the terrain that she sets up is easy to be able to overwrite the Corrin ring terrain, or just Corrin herself, because she has a really wide radius with the stone tiles here. I think it's like 5x5, right? Yeah, it's 5x5 for the stone tiles with her. That is really good. So yeah, Mythic Lumera is actually, like, low-key one of the better offense Mythic heroes. Alright, then we have a +10, or no, +2 Gladiator Crom. But he has a +10 Lin ring there. Alright, then +10 Lin with a +10 Sigurd ring. Alright, we got a +3 Dagger. And then we got a +6 Asker with +10 Micaiah ring. Very interesting. Okay, so this guy's not like a complete whale. He's just like a regular player, it seems like. So let's see what he does here. Oh, he's waiting on the Bolt Tower, but by this point, it's already too late. Yeah, so at this point, I already swapped in Medius, and I gave Ectordeer the updated build. So, yeah, it does my heart warm to see a Bolt Tower waiter just get crushed. Like, how dare you wait on the Bolt Tower, man? Fight me like a man. Like, who hits when my units are at 1 HP? That's not very manly. Alright, yeah, so his Bolt Tower gets squashed, and at this point he's in trouble, pretty much. Alright, whiffs the... Oh, I thought he was going to whiff the Foresight Snare with Alm style and then do something else, but he didn't. So yeah, GG there. So yeah, that was our first season with the new defense. There's still a lot of things that I have to do to fix it up, but we need more data. I need to see more replays. I need to see more people fight it to see what else we can do here to fix it up. But for the time being, I'm pretty satisfied with how it looked and the concept of it as well. Like, just having double Vantage frontliners, double crazy Instruct bots that are giving a lot of great talent. Of course, we've got a crazy save duo there with Ectordeer and Ike. We got a lot of Lucina support. Lucina also being a great offensive unit, giving Kanto curb support. And then Marth and Balder. Balder's just defense breaker. That's all she needs to do, really. And then Marth, of course, just giving a lot of crazy support himself. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. The real test is going to be next season because we're going to have a pretty good rough draft to go with at the start, unlike this season where a lot of changes were made. And also next season, these two are going to be bonus heroes, so it's going to be really gross seeing what they do next season. But yeah, this is your boy Tasho signing out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys were able to do on your defenses and also your offenses this season in Aether Raids. And I will catch y'all again on the flip side.